Welcome to another episode of The Power of Choosing.
This topic today is all about alignment.
Alignment. I love that word. And before I was a coach, I didn't really know what that meant. So I'm going to do a quick summary of what we mean by alignment. So if you're in alignment, you know who you are, you know what you like, you know what you don't like. And in simple terms, everything that you're doing is in line with your values.
Well, even just as you were saying it, what kind of came up for me was just it's your outer actions and your inner actions align. That's alignment to me, is when you're doing the things and like it feels connected internally and it feels good and it feels right. So
Yeah, and where this comes down to the power of choosing here, we're helping you to train the muscles of listening to your gut, listening to your instinct. Like, what is it that I want? And the more you listen to that, the more it's telling you this is a good situation for me, this is not a good situation for me. And then the more you believe in yourself, the more you can then take the next step, which is I'm going to go towards what's good and I'm going to turn away from what's not good, what's not serving me.
or even because I get all picky with words, like what's working, what's not working is also another way to also phrase that. So it helps you see like that center. I always think of like a center when I think of alignment is just, am I walking my path that I'm meant to be walking? And is it working for me? And the moment it veers off and it's not working for me, I need to get back to my path that I'm walking on.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And that's a muscle you can keep training and
yeah,
then keep shifting yourself back to being in alignment.
absolutely. Uh, as we were talking about this topic, I really came up with a situation with work that was out of alignment for me. So it started 100% in alignment with me in the sense that my job interview, the manager and I were just having this really great moment where we were vibing off each other. We just kept saying all of the things and we both like finished each other's sentences. It was this beautiful like this, I found my dream job. This is going to be exactly what I'm doing. So I started the job and was super gung ho. And probably about 3 weeks in, it was no longer that excitement that I was feeling. So what started off as very much in alignment when it came to our interview was turning quickly out of alignment as I got into the real practice of doing this job. And I got fired. And I had some feelings about that. I was super angry, super mad on my drive home, but give it a day. I really got into a place where I was able to be like, actually, this was a good thing. And it really aligned me in my own truth and actually set me up into the career of coaching, actually, from that job afterwards, because I really started to, what is it that I want? And so that was me staying in alignment all of the time. Like it started off really great, veered off course, and then through her help of being fired, I was able to get to a place to actually start going after the career that I did want. How many times do we take jobs where it starts off in alignment and then it veers off course? And I just think that's a really great way for people to see like, are you in aligned with your job? And so,
Yeah, and I think it sometimes we don't even see it. So
correct.
sometimes it might actually not be in alignment and we're not seeing the red flags and we're not seeing the reasons why it's not because it's something we feel we should do or it's something we really want. Like we want this job, we want it to fit, and you can make something fit, like squeeze it in this box that it doesn't really fit in because you really think that that's what you need in that moment. And
Absolutely.
then people get stuck in it.
Yeah,
And they can get stuck in it for years and years and years, and then something feels off. And if we don't have the tools to name these things, and that's why at the start we described what alignment was, because me before and a lot of people don't really know what it is, and that this state exists where you know yourself so well that it's just an easy yes and no, an easy that will work for me, that won't.
hmm
That's the place you can get to.
Yes, absolutely. For me now, I've always been a verbal processor. I need to process things out loud. I'm not a journaler. Maybe that works for some people, but for me, it's verbal processing. And now if I say something, I can hear if it fits or if it doesn't fit. And that's a really cool muscle to be able to develop and use over and over and over. So it's like as you're saying something, I've done it plenty of times where I've said something, I'm like, actually, no. No to everything I just said. I'm going to go to the next option because that was not in alignment. And I would love for people to be able to use that. Like, rather than always venting all of the time, if we can get to a place of like, this is what I'm thinking and just kind of share it with someone, you can see and feel internally, did that actually land for you? Is that something that works and something that you want to do carrying forward? And so that to me is just always a magical piece is I can speak out loud and be like, oh, that, nope, that didn't work for me. And then put myself back on course.
Yeah, because it's a totally different like feeling and vibe when it's just in your head. Like things in our
Yes,
head seem really real, and it's when you speak it out that you can actually decide, is this real or not? So it's a really good tool for, okay, this is what I'm thinking. My brain keeps thinking the same thing. Let me just say it out loud. Is it actually what I want? And like your body would will normally give you a clue.
absolutely. And we keep saying the word vibe, which is interesting because I don't typically say the word vibe in general for myself, but I do refer to energy. So I do want to introduce energy as a part of the whole alignment. So your energy is going to know when you're in alignment with oneself.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have a way that you can share with the listeners of what is going on through alignment for you or where you've noticed it for yourself?
Yeah, a big one for me was when we got pregnant and everyone in England does this NCT group, which is basically learn the basics of how to care for a baby. It's basically for mums to make new friends, like mums and dads, to have like a friendship group who are all going through exactly the same thing at the same time. You learn some stuff, it's quite helpful. And then it was like, great, these are all my new friends. And we just moved to Bristol as well, and it was COVID. So we didn't actually have many friends or groups of people to hang out with. So it was perfect. So that was my expectation. Like this was going to be perfect. My friend, new friends, new mum friends. My neighbors were saying, "Oh, it's so good. We're all friends 10 years later and we still all meet up." And great, this is exactly what I want. Like ready-made community. And and they were all lovely and it was great. And we had a meetup beforehand and then we had a meetup with our babies and it was cute and it was nice. Everyone was getting in the thick of it and messaging. And I slowly realized they might not be my people. It was like, no, no, they have to be. They have to be my people because this is like the thing that everyone does. This is where I make my friends. And it was that not wanting to let go. So, and then I look back and like we were the only ones that wanted a home birth. We were the only ones that were like, well, we slowly realized we were hippie parents, which we didn't even realize until I became pregnant. And we wanted to go a bit away from the norm just because that's who we are as people. And a lot of the people we were hanging out with were like, "You're crazy. You actually want your child in your bed?" And we're like, cute. And that's what worked for us. Not to say what works for anyone else. They were more like the norm, so they probably did find more people like them. And we were a bit different. And it took a while to just to accept that it's okay. They're not wrong, I'm not wrong. We're different people, and I don't have to keep trying to make it fit.
Well, what I'm hearing in there is this values were different. The approach that you were having towards parenthood was different. So for me, knowing that this topic is all about alignment, I can see right in that explanation of what you're sharing of how it was because the values were different. It was out of alignment for both you and them. Not saying anybody was wrong, anybody was right, like that kind of situation, not pivoting or putting one against another.
Yeah.
It's really just out of alignment. And I think we wanted to talk about that too, is out of alignment also helps where it's like you don't have to blame other people and you
Mhm.
don't have to like put that onto someone else or make yourself better than. It's not that. Alignment just is. Alignment is that centering for me of really, is this aligned with my values, who I am as a person, and allows other people the same respect. That is, this in alignment with them? Is this for, so no one's wrong, no one's right. Everybody is just doing what's in alignment for them.
Yeah, exactly that. You can easily be like, well, they're not for me, they're terrible people, which I never
Right.
did because they weren't. They were really lovely. And it's not that. It's just for the stage I'm in right now, they're not my people. I'm not their person. The messages everyone was sending each other weren't for me, and vice versa. So we were in completely different places. So, and it was letting go of that, this is how it should be. And because I was able to let go of it, because we didn't click, it wasn't working, I could then find other ways to make mum friends. And now I have the best mum friends who are my people, who we have some differences and some similarities, but at the core of it, we are similar people and we just get on, and I found the people who make my heart happy. And
Hmm.
that's what happens when you let go of the things that don't serve you, however scary that might be, if it's leaving a job or believing you'll have no friends. And when you make room for the things that are in alignment, like amazing things happen.
Hmm. Yes. I mean, I am going to approach this because I'm talking to my old self in regards to this. I used to really not necessarily believe in alignment because I would be like, this person did this and this. I was not as kind as you are in the sense of like, they're lovely people. They're just not my people. No, that is not how I approached anything. And so I want to say that because I'm sure someone listening has some tendencies that I did where I was just like, ugh. I would make up stories about them and they'd be bad. But when we can start to let that part go and
Mm.
realize everything is in alignment, we don't have to make other people be the bad people. So I just want to
Mhm.
re-echo that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like again, this was life coaching Claire that was making these decisions, not pre-coaching Claire that also,
Fair.
yeah, lived the same sort of life where people were wrong and they did the bad thing and it's
Right.
their fault, and it's so easy to make up stories that make your point of view valid, and I'm perfect and have done no wrong, and they have done all the wrong. And actually, it's just they're living their life, you're living yours. We
Yes.
don't align, and that's okay. Not everyone's gonna like us, not everyone, we're not gonna like everyone.
Right. And putting that pressure to make everybody align to your own alignment is is where that it's out of alignment, but it's where that miss is happening. It's where that story gets created about who they are as people versus being in alignment. So just being able to come back to yourself, know yourself. It really, when you're able to get to that, you can start getting clear and start to know what's right for you without doing much, I guess.
Mm. Yeah, and then what happens when you're in alignment is you feel calmer and
Mhm.
life becomes easier. You start to attract the things that fit, made so much easier because you know what fits and you know what to let in and you know what to let go. I know myself so well that I don't need to say yes to things that don't serve me. And there's this calming and ease and freedom that comes with that.
Yes, I'm thinking of a conversation I had with a client recently. There